The 9th is a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. And the field lines up this way with Regency Bobo having no luck last time, but he's got a better draw here of barrier number 2. Speedy Mouse carries an extra £7 for that last start victory. Big Fortune raced wide last time. Circuit 6 has had a stable change. He's moved from Manfred Man to Ricky Yu, and the blinkers come off. The Golden Scenery wider draw, an extra £3 on his impressive first start. Further down, Lucky Quality, won in Class 4 last time, comes back up in grey. Chicken Dance, a good draw, and a gear change on the 12 Kings Capital with the cheek pieces off and the crossover noseband also coming off horse number 12. So, Tom, good field again here as we wander across to the speed map. And what's it going to tell us for this one?
Yeah, well, the speed map, I think there's a real obvious clear leader in this race. I'm not totally sold on Special M leading here. I thought maybe Big Fortune might end up taking it up here. He's a horse that likes to race predominantly and has raced certainly handy in the past. But, Paul, no guaranteed leader in this 9th race.
No, I tend to agree. I think Big Fortune with the Apprentice Claim, and also Excellent Daddy led all the way in a recent trial as well. So there is a bit of pace for him as well, and he was wide all the way on his debut run. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was right on the pace.
Big Fortune in gate 3, Excellent Daddy in gate number 6. Looks a little tricky for Joe Moreira with Lucky Quality. He's out in barrier number 12.
Well, one horse that should have come on from a very handy debut is the Golden Scenery, and Tom caught up with his rider at track work, Vincent Ho.
The Golden Scenery, Vincent, going around in race 9 for Tony Cruz. Was a decent run in the middle of last month, first up. What sort of feeling did he give you?
Yeah, nice horse. I think he's still a baby, still a bit green, but he will be better after the first run for sure. Draw again is a little bit tricky. Last time was a perfect draw, and got him midfield and box seat, and he ran home strong. I believe he will be much fitter this time. Just depends on the draw will be a bit more tricky.
You'd ridden him in some trials before his debut. Did he sort of show in his trials that he was up to running a race like that on debut?
No, not really. Didn't think he will be that different. He can be a little bit keen in the trial, but in the race he's totally fine and so relaxed. So yeah.
So a bit of a shocked Vincent Ho there with his debut, boys. We're going to pick up the replay. We've seen the concluding stages of that race. Here's the patrol film from further out, and that's Regency Bobo. Almost gets in, Tom, in front of Chicken Dance, but can't quite, and he's forced to race wide after that. Yeah, he certainly was, and he's pretty much without any cover there, Regency Bobo. Karis Teaton jumps aboard this time around. Zach Purton was on board, and he certainly had excuses and dropped out last time out. I know the Golden Scenery, Paul, had a lovely run through here on the fence, pretty much behind the winner, but I don't think that first up run was a fluke at all. No,
or do I. I've included him. The only little concern I've got is, look, he hadn't raced. He raced back in November 2020. Then he's come out and run a really good race fresh up. It's just whether he, there is the ability to bounce there, but the way he finished off, and Master 8's a really good horse that he almost ran down, so it was a really good debut run from him. No problems with that.
And quadruple double to horse fading back into 4th. He comes back in trip to the last over 1,000 metres, so we'll see him after a break. Speedy Mouse, Paul, he delivered last time. He carries extra weight. Good field this day. Can he go on from this performance and win again? Yeah,
look, I think he's right in the mix as Speedy Mouse. I mean, he's drawn a little bit awkwardly in barrier number 8, so he just moves out a couple of places. But look, the way he hit the line, it was a really strong finish from him. So I thought it was a good run there from Speedy Mouse. So he's got to be included, I think.
Yeah, what I liked about the run here was really dug in deeply from the 250, and it was quite a strong performance in the end. He won pretty easily at the line, but certainly enjoyed the way he chimed in from the last 250 or so.
He beat War of Courage and Storm Warnings in that race. Big Fortune, Tom, now he's racing wide here again. Pretty strong field. That's Winner Method. Diamond Brilliant to his outside, and Drops of God outside of the 3. And he was forced off the track the entire way from the draw. And it wouldn't shock me at all if he can lead in this race with no other real natural leader in the contest. He's drawn ideally. He's got the claim. Jerry Chow knows him well. He's yet to win on this horse from 7 rides, but he's been knocking on the door. And despite covering ground last time out, he's still stayed on nicely there, Paul, with I'm a Single Man coming out and winning.
Yeah, that was a good run there from I'm a Single Man. And you could see that he was wide the whole way.
There's a look at the barrier draws that Big Fortune has had this season. The closest he's drawn in, Tom, is barrier number 4. So he's actually raced quite well earlier in the season from those lower draws, and then ran second from barrier 8 3 starts ago. It's the best draw he's had all year.
Yeah, it certainly is. Gate number 3. He's going to get plenty of favours there, and as I said, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he does lead and to try and make all here and dictate it to run to suit himself.
Yeah, he's also got the apprentice claim, which will help him a lot as well, I think.
Yeah, Jerry's been getting on very well with him. And the final replay that we're going to look at, the second last replay we're going to look at, Paul, is Lucky Quality. Now, this is down in grade over 1,000 metres last time. What about up to 1,200 metres end up in class?
Yeah, well, that's the query, isn't it? Up to the 1,200 metres. Look, he has won over 1,200 in the past. That was at Happy Valley. Look, I haven't included him, though. I just wonder if this might be a little bit of a stronger race.
Yeah, likewise. And so I think it's the draw that's a little bit of a negative for this horse this time round with gate number 12. Just wasn't sure where he was going to slot in here.
I'm going to come to you first for this one too, Paul, because this is Excellent Daddy at his debut, and you're pretty keen on him at some value on this and also after a strong trial in the all-weather.
You can see how wide he is the whole way here. This horse just couldn't get on the track. It was just victim of circumstances on the day. But look, he's 4-5 wide. This is a really strong race. War of Courage wins, and you've got fantastic treasure in there as well. And you could see him, he was still there in the fight and he didn't really give it away. Now, it looked like he was going to drop right out and finish last. But what he did now, I thought he just stayed on a little bit towards the end as well. So with that run under his belt, he since had a trial and he won the trial. He led all the way. It was a good trial. I think this horse has settled him well.
You could see he certainly tired late in that race there, but there was nothing wrong with his trial, as Paul mentioned, led all the way and looked to do it quite easily for trainer Benno Yung.
That was on the all-weather on a rainy Sha Tin morning, that trial as well. So we know who is on top for you, Paul.
Look, I think he'll be a good price. So I wanted to go with him. Excellent Daddy. He's currently at 23 and 6. If he stays that price, I'll be more than happy. Speedy Mouse, I think it's a one to beat on form, even though he is up in weight a little bit. The Golden Scenery, very good debut run and a big fortune from the front as well. So 6, 2, 5 and 3.
I'm happy to go with Speedy Mouse. I think he can replicate what he did last time out and when it was quite comfortable in the end. The Golden Scenery, the negative this time round has to be the draw. Certainly that first up run I don't think was a fluke despite the run he had in transit. Big fortune. There's one I'm going to throw in at a bit of a price. It's Circuit, 6 at 39s and 11s. He's now with Ricky Yu from Manfred Mann. He's won a recent trial up at Chungfra. I thought he did that quite nicely. He's dropped 20 pounds of the blinkers coming off. So 2, 5, 3 and 4.
And the Mouse has come up the early favourite for race number 9 at Sha Tin. He's at 2.5.